Hey everyone, Chloe here and welcome back to another video and welcome back to this feminine space. And if you are new here, ladies and lurkers and ear hustlers, welcome. So I wanted to share some long overdue feminine perspective on the very triggering topic of dating out and expanding your options, but more specifically on the topic of shaming other races of men into dating Black women that has become a very cringy performative trend, particularly on TikTok, where some out of pocket Black women and women who are mixed with Black and many unhealed women in general who are on that app dry begging and who are wholesale giving Black women who are in the dating and marriage marketplace a lot of secondhand embarrassment. And yes, for a bit of house cleaning, many feathers will be ruffled by this commentary, but you can go argue with your liver. Now, of course, the actions of a few Black women do not speak for an entire community or an entire culture. And as a femininity influencer and as a content creator, it has never been my cup of tea to speak in sweeping generalizations because although sweeping generalizations are great for clickbait, they are also kind of lowbrow and are kind of corn on the cob. And at this point, sweeping generalizations and the content that it produces can be pretty redundant and very cliched. So I will never consider the idea that a few bad apples will represent the many. But when it comes to dating out and marrying out and the game of expanding your options, both Black men and Black women can get quite folio and can get quite caught up in the race to the bottom trap of retaliation energy and winless victories in ways that are giving clownish and performative and immature and attention seeking. And this very distorted and twisted energy has got a lot of Black women out here looking like they have a few fries missing from their Happy Meals and a few buttons missing from their remote controls. Now, venting will always be a part of social media and it will always have its entertainment value. But at some point in the game, the light has to come on when you are becoming the punchline and the butt end of the joke. So I bring you TikTok example one of yet another exhausting example of a reach and of this performative shaming and this emotional terrorism that is starting to become an outright illness for many Black women, as many Black women are starting to dive headfirst into creating spectacles and are diving headfirst into hot mess energy and are starting to turn up the dial on doing everything and anything within their power to feel seen. But take a listen for yourself.
This guy has made a show of going on a date with a woman from every state. And let me just show you why he's getting a lot of hate. I think it's fair to say that my guy has a type. But here's what really makes me mad. This is the girl he went on a date with from Hawaii. Like, sir, what you not finna do? You not finna play us, sir. You not finna play us, sir. Then this is the girl he went on a date with from New Mexico, who is actually, if you look on her Instagram, from Long Island. So, sir, if you have a type, you didn't even have to go across 50 states for that. Like, you really just dated the same girl in every single state. Like, where is the seasoning? Let me know y'all thoughts in the comments, because I'm feeling like this was unnecessary.
And here's another glaring example, and no, you are not being punked, or are we?
So I randomly came across this video here and I'm stitching it so you can kind of see. I've personally taken offense to this and I am admitting that's part of my past, and I've dated a guy, maybe multiple, who are kind of having a preference like this, and obviously all these girls are gorgeous and they seem excellent. It's just that it's sad to me because why are we not attracted to people who aren't white? And I'm not trying to say that you can't like a certain way that people look, but out of 50, you're doing this for a video. Not a single girl is Black. And I think maybe there's a light skinned, maybe mixed girl but you know what I mean.
Now,
Honestly.
unfortunately, this dry begging energy tends to stick to women and their reputation the strongest, as that is the double standardness of gender. And ladies, it takes a high degree of self awareness to realize that a woman, especially a feminine woman, but that a woman has to move differently and to speak differently, especially if she wants different. Because dry begging on an app is only going to continue to give the manosphere the ammunition to further drag you and humiliate you and to pander to their dusty and dust bunny base. Now, black women and women in particular, ladies, I understand that the dating and marriage marketplace can be frustrating and in many ways can feel daunting and can feel like a struggle like no other. And at times can even drive women to act out of desperation, because it is no secret that many black women feel overlooked and ignored, which is why you need to subscribe to this channel, because black women in particular have always been groomed to focus on lack and on having a poverty mindset, and they have always been groomed and engineered to focus on their insecurities. But when your mind is in a resting state of lack and frustration and feeling less than, the experience of dating and courting or hoping to get married will be even more painful and debilitating when you are dry begging instead of focusing on feminine wellness. And this is honestly why we are seeing so much dysfunction being played out on TikTok, because people are really seeking out any kind of attention for visibility and to fulfill voids, especially women, because women truly are the flowers of the world and they are watered by attention. But it is truly an art to get the right kind of attention. Now, ladies, I am all for expanding your options, but trying to shame someone into dating you, and even the other very cringy trend of announcing that you're dating out. And yes, feathers will be ruffled by what I'm about to say, but you can go argue with your mammy or go find your daddy, but it is starting to sound very cliched and played out. And shaming anyone is giving clownette energy and a touch of remedial, and is giving peak weirdo. And more importantly, it is truly painting a grotesque and exaggerated picture of black women as limited in their self-awareness and as women who are limited in nuance and strategy. And this performative shaming is starting to come off as desperate, all of which are not a good wholesale look for any woman's feminine image. Truth be told, ladies, feminine women do not move in the spirit of being pushy or aggressive, or in the spirit of being an attack dog, or in the spirit of guilting others into liking us. Feminine women move in silence about who they date. They don't explain or over-explain their why. They move like Leonardo DiCaprio, who moves in the spirit of, I can show you better than I can tell you. Ladies, a real winning mindset knows that it is all about action and the results of those actions. It is not about talk, and it certainly isn't about bullying others into liking you. Being disagreeable to be disagreeable is not the flex that you think it is. It's giving backleading. And I know a lot of hurt and unhealed femcel women and their gas station wigs. They get on the mic and they love to pander to their base. But high value men of other races are not just sitting around with their arms open waiting on you. You have to put in the feminine homework, and your cultural capital has to be on point. And cultural capital, for those of you who don't know, is your ability to make yourself interesting and captivating beyond your beauty. And that is the womanhood energy that will make you a keeper, especially with men of a certain class level. So as an effective solution, ladies, clean your microwaves, get in your feminine, commit to fixing your janky womanhood foundation, drop the big D masculina energy, drop the shaming energy, because no race of man likes to be assaulted with finger wagging and correction, especially in the mating game, as that energy is quite anti-seductive. And instead of trying to match a man's petty energy, instead work on becoming a receiver. focus on attracting more than you focus on shaming and being a huntress. And I highly, highly recommend that if you choose to expand your options, because yes, a woman who is committed to self-improvement should not wait around for slim pickings and bottom shelf men who can't provide for anyone. But there is still a high degree of strategy involved when it comes to expanding your options, and it all starts with upgrading your mindset. And I highly recommend that if you choose to expand your options, ladies, that not only that you date out, but that you date up, and that at a minimum that you hitch your wagon to a provider. Because I have always stated from the beginning of this channel that I am not into the business of putting other races of men on an unearned pedestal. My sister is married to a great Turkish Armenian provider. So a bottom shelf man of any race is not a status symbol flex for any black woman, because struggle, love, and dysfunction comes in all colors and cultures, and all races of men will put Molly in your champagne, as dating out has never meant dropping your standards down to nothing. And it definitely isn't the escape hatch that a lot of unhealed women are sadly selling and are marketing it to be. Because ladies, if you don't vet and if you don't improve your feminine wellness, instead of getting the man of your dreams, you just might get the man of your nightmares. And lastly, and some feathers are really going to be ruffled to hear this, but social media has definitely made a lot of bottom shelf men from other races very aware and very cognizant of this dry begging and this desperation, where black women are selling themselves as if they are unwanted and undesirable crumbs. And sadly, many other races of men are now starting to take advantage and are starting to use black women for nefarious purposes, including hitching their hypogamous wagons to your wallet, ladies. So be also very careful, ladies, before you get caught up with a straight up opportunist who can see the dollar in you, because it can happen. Ladies, there are rules to every game, but shaming men into liking you is not how the womanhood game is played. So that is all that I have to say on this for now, and I said a mouthful, but ladies, to get this conversation started, does shaming white men work? And is shaming an effective way to get noticed by other races of men? And as a black woman, do you get secondhand embarrassment from women who don't understand the rules of the game, or do you get inspired? And as always, stay tuned for more cautionary tales to come, and I will catch up with you ladies and lurkers and ear hustlers in the next one.